Hey everybody, good to see you again in whatever fashion. Um, I wanted to read something today from the Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna, where Ramakrishna is talking about the dangers of the ego. So Ramakrishna, before I begin, he distinguished between two kinds of ego. One is the sort of standard ego that um, we think of as a danger in spiritual life. This is an ego which is shaped purely by desire and by the fear and anger that are attendant on such an ego. There is a way of ripening the ego, as he puts it, to make it a proper servant to divinity and to spirituality in all its forms. But here are a few stories that he told on June 13th, 1885, about the unripe ego. So here we go. So this is Sri Ramakrishna speaking. It is on account of the ego that one is not able to see God. In front of the door of God's mansion lies the stump of ego. One cannot enter the mansion without jumping over the stump. Then another story. There was once a man who had acquired the power to tame ghosts. One day at his summons a ghost appeared. The ghost said, "Now tell me what you want me to do. The moment you cannot give me any work, I shall break your neck." The man had many things to accomplish, and he had the ghost to do them all one by one. At last he could find nothing more for the ghost to do. "Now," said the ghost, "I am going to break your neck." "Wait a minute," said the man, "I shall return presently." He ran to his teacher and said, "Revered sir, I am in great danger. This is my trouble." And he told his teacher his trouble and asked, "What shall I do?" The teacher said, "Do this. Tell the ghost to straighten this kinky hair." The ghost devoted itself day and night to straightening the hair, but how could it make a kinky hair straight? The hair remained kinky. Likewise, the ego seems to vanish this moment, but it reappears the next. Unless one renounces the ego, one does not receive the grace of God. Then another story. Suppose there is a feast in a house, and the master of the house puts a man in charge of the stores. As long as the man remains in the storeroom, the master doesn't go there. But when of his own will he renounces the storeroom and goes away, then the master locks it and takes charge of it himself. A guardian is appointed only for a minor. A boy cannot safeguard his property, therefore the king assumes responsibility for him. God does not take over our responsibilities unless we renounce our ego. And then one final story. Once Lakshmi and Narayana were seated in Vaikuntha, heaven, when Narayana suddenly stood up. Lakshmi had been stroking his feet. She said, "Lord, where are you going?" Narayana answered, "One of my devotees is in great danger. I must save him." With these words he went out. But he came back immediately. Lakshmi said, "Lord, why have you returned so soon?" Narayana smiled and said, "The devotee was going along the road, overwhelmed with love for me. Some washermen were drying clothes on the grass, and the devotee walked over the clothes. At this, the washermen chased him and were going to beat him with their sticks, so I ran out to protect him." "But why have you come back?" asked Lakshmi. Narayana laughed and said, "I saw the devotee himself picking up a brick to throw at him, so I came back." So I hope you enjoyed the story. I hope to see you soon. We have some hope that we will be able to start the class online in a few weeks. Until then, be well. Take care.